Calaroga Shark Media.
Hello, I'm Johnny Mack with your daily comedy news. The Hollywood Reporter asked a bunch of famous podcasters about podcasting, and sometimes it didn't go as well as they thought. I imagine Tony Hinchcliffe was asked, what are your podcasting guilty pleasures? And Tony said, I don't listen to podcasts, which is pretty bad for a podcasting article. When I get a chance to put headphones on or drive somewhere, it's exclusively music from me. All right, what's your current favorite podcast that you're not involved with? Well, he doesn't listen to anybody. He answered, The Joe Rogan Experience. Any podcasting no-nos learn the hard way? Double confirm your bookings. Don't count on rappers that famously smoke vast amounts of weed and remember they're booked on a certain date and time. How would you like to see podcasting evolve? The video players need to be better on Spotify, Apple, and everywhere to create a competitive environment. What podcast doesn't exist yet that should? The Nancy Pelosi Stock Market Investment Advice Show. Who would you like to have on the podcast you haven't yet? One word, Chappelle. Pre-recording routine, IV drip, cold plunge, sauna, chicken and broccoli, hot yoga, a 6-shot iced latte, playing drums for 20-30 minutes, 8 cigarettes. And who's the one person in your life that still doesn't know how we earn a living? In my case, it's my wife who comes down and does the laundry. As I know what she thinks I'm doing, sitting in my office with the door closed, babbling to myself. I don't know. Could you do the laundry 20 minutes from now? Tony Hinchcliffe's answer was, the guy who let us originally record our shows at the Comedy Store now lives on an island in Honduras and plays guitar and smokes weed and doesn't go on social media. I don't think he fathoms what he let begin. From late nighter Michael Che and Colin Jost will be sharing a stage in Colorado tonight at Denver's Belco Theater. The show supports the Zarlengo Foundation, a nonprofit organization dedicated to supporting learning disabled children in the Denver area. Those two now have the record of being SNL's longest tenured Weekend Update team. They've been doing it since 2014. I remember when they started, some coworkers didn't like them. I was into them right away. That's right. I'm going to humble brag and be like, I like Jost and Che. No, I really did. I just thought they were good. I remember my old boss being like, I don't know about that. I'm like, no, yeah, they're good. Johnny Mack, you never talk about Matt Rife on the podcast. Do you have something against Matt Rife? No, I love Matt Rife. I thought his new special was really good. All right, I'll talk about him. You act like I haven't mentioned him every day for 2 straight weeks. Us Weekly had one of those interviews with Matt Rife. This one was an exclusive interview with Us Weekly. Matt Rife, 28 years old, reflected on the early days of his career. The dream I had was, okay, if I get to sell out weekends at comedy clubs for 300-seat venues, I made it. The level of being a Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, Cat Williams, those arena acts and top-tier entertainers never even occurred to me. I'm from Ohio. Doesn't really seem fitting. Dave Chappelle's from Ohio. For 11 straight years, I woke up pretty much every single day with nothing to do unless I created something to do. Wait, were you podcasting in your basement too? Now I wake up and go, wow, I don't know if I'll ever have a free day for the rest of my life, which is a blessing and a curse. You have enough money. You can have a free day, dude. I don't ever want to be bored again. That used to drive me absolutely insane. There's nothing worse than your phone not ringing, but every now and then I'm like, okay, am I ever getting a chance to enjoy the house I just bought? Yes, don't tour for a week. It's your choice. Rife says success has not eliminated his mental health issues, saying it's gotten so much worse. There's no crash course on how to be famous. Nobody tells you how to take on new battles and get used to people telling you things about yourself that you only thought about yourself. You have to learn how to deflect so much negativity that's thrown at you when so many people don't understand the negativity you live with in your own head. But at the same time, certain anxieties and certain depressions are also lifted by the success. There's a little less worry about what if. Eliza Schlesinger spoke to newbeauty.com, your home for comedy news. She says, this is a really exciting hour. I've been working on it for a while. I normally put out a special every year and a half, but I just had my son about 5 months ago, so I wanted to give myself time to recover from that. I sat with this material for a while. It's nothing but a raucous, outrageous, and make no mistake about it, polished good time. I think it's super inclusive. That speaks to a lot of different types of people. The folks at New Beauty, your home for comedy news, were interested in how she takes care of herself, and Eliza said, I'm a big believer in natural remedies. I say that as like a total novice in this area. I go to a place called Kosha Spa in Sherman Oaks, and they do a lot of massages. I'm a big believer in getting your muscles, working out toxins, stretching, stuff like that. I tend to shy away from anything invasive. As a person who talks a lot, it's always nice to get my jaw rubbed, especially when it's been clenched for 8 hours. She's also a fan of products that don't use a lot of plastic. She says, I always try to do less plastic. I do think there are perfect people out there making great strides in health and beauty, but I always favor products that are at least strive to use less plastic. A lot of times you buy beauty products, and what you're paying for is the beautiful packaging. What are you excited for this fall, Eliza Schlesinger? She said, I'm excited to not sweat. I'm excited, like every woman, for the idea of pumpkin spice latte. To be honest, I'm just so excited to get back out there and be with the fans. I'm excited to not be pregnant and be on tour because that's a slog. I'm just excited to be running this hour and doing it for all the fans and the markets on this tour that we didn't get to last year. Deadline spoke to Matt Berry, not the fantasy football guy on ESPN. He's Matthew Berry. This Matt Berry, the British actor, you know him from things like What We Do in the Shadows. Deadline reminds us that Matt Berry broke out in 2012 with Toast of London, a surreal sitcom in which he appeared as the bitter, buffoonish, self-serious thespian Stephen Toast. Find that one on the internet somewhere. I don't know what's streaming right now. Toast of London, hopefully it's somewhere. If you ever come across that one, it's really good. Deadline asked him about his character Laszlo and What We Do in the Shadows, and Matt Berry said, he's 300 years old, something like that. He's an aristocrat who was bitten by an attractive young Greek vampire, and he never looked back after that. He just carried on with his fairly hedonistic lifestyle from that moment on, and doing all the things he wished he could do before he was bitten and became a vampire. Basically, that would attract any actor, I think. Because all these characters are dead or undead or whatever you choose. They can say and do anything. That's what attracts me to it. We don't have to be cautious because these people don't exist. When you signed up, Matt Berry, did you realize the show would be an ongoing thing? No one does. You just sign up and see what happens. There isn't anyone that expects their TV show to run for more than a couple of seasons, let alone 6. It's very rare now, and we're all very lucky. Deadline, you have a very particular delivery. Do they write to your strengths? No, not at all, which is a good thing. My dialogue is bone straight, without any sort of flour, and then I'll add whatever it needs, depending on Laszlo's situation within that episode. How has Laszlo developed over the past 5 years? It's difficult to say because it's not that sort of show. The characters are hundreds of years old, they're stuck in their ways, you can't really stretch them and take them on journeys that will alter the characters. They've been the same for hundreds of years. You hit the ground running with a fairly loud start and then you keep going. I didn't really do anything different the last season I wasn't doing in the first, I don't think. Do you get recognized much from the show? Yes. Alrighty, on Thursday I was telling you some of the best jokes from the Fringe Festival. Where'd that link go? I lost it. You may recall the winner was told by Mark Simmons much better than me. I was going to sail around the globe in the world's smallest ship, but I bottled it. I'm trying to shake off the Matt Berry. I almost slipped into half-assed Matt Berry there. I was very half-assed today. Trying to get it back. Oh, recently I went to a couple concerts with my daughter and we were talking and she brought up Jim Brewer and my Brewer came right back in the car. I was like, Morristown. And then she had to listen to me do Jim Brewer for a good 10 minutes. Zoe Coombs-Marr said, my partner told me she'd never seen the film Gaslight. I told her she definitely had. Olaf Falafel said the conspiracy theory about the moon being made of cheese was started by the Illuminati. Sarah Keyworth, I'm an extremely emotionally needy, non-binary person. My pronouns are there. T-H-E-R-E. Ryder Swift, I've got a girlfriend who never stops whining. I wish I'd never bought her that vineyard. I like it. Lou Wall, gay people are very bad at math, so we don't naturally multiply. Sophie Duker. Keir Starmer looks like an AI-generated image of a substitute teacher. Olga Koch, growing up rich is a hereditary condition. It affects 1% of people. Joe Nunick will tape his special today at the Gutter in Brooklyn, New York. The 800-pound gorilla tells us Joe is a comedian, writer, and content creator based in New York, originally from Kansas City. He became the first paid regular at the Comedy Club of Kansas City. Good luck with your taping there. Also from the Gorilla, Nath Valvo. Remember him? I had him on the show, Australian guy, last August when we were doing some stuff, in August of 23, doing some stuff for the Montreal Festival. Nath was great. And we were told Nath Valvo was all killer, no filler with his hilarious debut special, I'm Happy For You. In I'm Happy For You, Valvo tackles the big question, should he become a father? He talks about his family, his partner, his friends, and surviving life in his 30s. Featuring a lot of jokes and the usual Valvo flair that audiences love, I'm Happy For You was nominated for the Melbourne Comedy Festival Award. Oh, he's got a podcast. I didn't know this. It's called The Buck Up. I'm going to grab that because I liked him a lot. He was a really cool guest. Go back to August of 2023. You'll find my interview with him. He was really cool. Nath Valvo, I'm Happy For You on YouTube for free and for purchase without ads on the 800-pound gorilla website. And I have to jump on a conference call in 2 minutes, so that means that's your comedy news for today. That's how this works. Did you have more, John? Maybe. There's always tomorrow, and I'll see you here then.